What's up? Welcome back to the shop. As you can see, we're missing a car. Been doing a lot of testing and stuff lately, and I'd say about 2 months ago or so, whenever we were at the Gator Nationals, I was having a friend of mine, getting up under the car and just getting literally this close, and I could tell from the video my tranny and the whole thing, I mean literally an inch, it would rotate. So if that's strapped to the plate, that means the plate is flexing that much. So talk to my friend. When you've been in racing for as long as I have, you make a lot of connections at ART here in Fort Lauderdale, Applied Racing Technologies. And I sent him this. This is the stock plate out of the car. This is Hyde. And I want a stiffer plate because what that means is when your shit's rotating like that, it's just pushing the tire into the ground. And as you know, if you've been on the channel for a while, any movement except for forward is a wasted movement. So I want to get this rotation out of it, because what's really happening is this is winding up, your drive shaft's winding up, your tires trying to rotate, but instead of moving, it's rotating the plate because it's so soft, and it's just making the car unpredictable. I have data to show you exactly what I mean from the R1. So I sent Ricky, my buddy, the plate. I marked out what I needed and nothing in the rest. And he made the whole damn thing, it looks like, well, except for these ones here. So the biggest part of the reason why this is 3.5, I don't know if I can show you that. There's a little difference in a half a millimeter, that little lip right there. That's not the big reason. The big reason is this is about, I don't know if it'll come in clear. This is about 1,000 K. Carbon fiber comes in ratings of K. It goes up to 50 K. This here I bought a sheet of 3x3. This is 6,000 K. And the way you can tell is more K is the fibers in the bundle, so you can actually see the fibers. And then when you look on the inside, see how much grayer it is when it's cut? Because it's more fiber than resin. Nothing wrong with it. It's just something I know, guys. I'm not saying this is nothing I invented or anything like that, like I did the chassis video 3 years ago. I learned all this from drag racing. I mean, we're RC drag racing. We're not, it's drag racing RC cars. It's still drag racing. These are all theories and things I've learned, you know, throughout the years. This book covers everything. Dealing with bumps in the track, picking the groove. I mean, everything. Track temperatures and what they mean, adjusting the rear tire pressure, something, you know, that not everything is going to imply, but all the forces that apply, if you go through the thing, you want to learn. This stuff is going to teach you everything. These aren't theories, these are proven ways. That's what I'm saying. I'm not telling you this because it's a theory. I'm actually telling this before I even put the car together, because I'm going to show you the less flex, and I have two cars identical, as you know. Let me throw this car together. It'd take me like, I don't know, an hour or so. It's literally like 4 screws in the back, 8 screws in the front, and just 2-sided tape. And the only other thing I have to the equation is, talk to that guy Chris over there at Pinky Tune. I got me a motor. To really appreciate it, man. Thank you very much. I think it's a 6500. Yeah, 66K. Maximum 75,000. Looks like a nice piece. I don't know. Well, I know my chassis is going to work, but do you guys want me to put this in at the same time or leave my R1 combination together? This car has been 149. And so let me put it together. I'll come back with the data, and I will just show you with the car set up the same how much I know there'll be less flex in the car. You guys remember when I was doing the wheelie bar stuff back when I got the car, what, almost 2 years ago? Like the V1, this is how it comes. This is my, my dry tire car. The bar, I think, came all the way up there. So, I was in the process of extending it. So once I stabilized this and I made it all the way to the end, I mean, now you see that set up everywhere. That's just because it works. You want to take the flex out of it because you have stored energy in the wheelie bar. And you don't want it. It's just going to throw it back into the chassis, like the chassis is going to flex and throw it back into the tire. Now let's put it together, and I'll show you what I'm talking about with visuals and graphs. Here's the change I made. Big difference, right? Now, yes, the span from this axle to here is going to stiffen up everything in both cars. So now without this bouncing in like that, that's crazy to me. Instead of this turning when I give it full trigger, it's not going to turn as much. I may have to go to 4 mil on the next one. See how this turns out. It'll go, instead of this all turning and everything winding up and trying to plant the tire, it's going to snap the tire. As you see, we're going towards more drag racing than RC drag racing. The cars, everything, the tracks, the traction is dictating this. Traction is going up. So now you snap the tire and get it out of there because we have so much traction. Let me get into the graph that shows you exactly what I mean, besides just talk. So here's a good run. Here's the 146 from the Hillbillies when everything's right. And that track is kind of an anomaly because it was manicured. Look how this is what you want. So here's where you start, right? From here, let me get the gun on. So from when you pull the trigger to 100% is the curve in the ESC. It's also the rate in the gun is how fast you get there. So to get from here to here in this particular run was 0.7 of a second. And that is dictated by this. So when you get, that's how fast that gun tells it to get there that quick. So the first point, which is the 30, stops, boom, then it starts to ramp. So that first point is right there, that's the 30. And then that's your point, conjunction with your dots in your ESC. Sorry. I'm trying to do it all at once. Now let's back out real quick and go to what I'm talking about with the chassis and how it can affect you and the car. Flexi Flyer, yeah. So here's why. This is Fort Myers, second round, last race. Okay. This is all chassis here. Didn't change much with the car. Was running low, mid 60s. Had lost the first round, as you guys saw. Bought back, and I raced Jimmy. Really fast guy. We both went at 67. I have the tickets in there. And I got him on the tree. And then the next round, I had this happen. Now, the odd thing here is I was the only one in a groove coil. Everybody else was running tape and maybe 2 other people. So that's not the issue. It wasn't super sticky. You know what I'm saying? So look, it's stuck. The way you can tell is by how it loads the system, and then as soon as it drops, it's unsticking. So here's stuck. So of course that's all loaded. Then from here to here, it's spun. So you got stuck for 1/10 of a second, spun for 1/10 of a second. Now it's loaded again from here to here. Now it drops amperage because it's spinning. Now it tries to load here again. Again, all this is this. That's all that is. The tire, like I said, when you give it gas off the launch, this whole section rotates up. And the tire hasn't rotated at all. I wish I could take the footage out. I'm sure you've all seen it. I'm sure I'm not the first guy or a company out there, anybody that's building thicker chassis for this reason, because we don't need the flex. We need to go forward. We don't, a lot of things that go on. Check out the book, go to your favorite chassis builder and check that out. Cameron John Race Cars, Ricky Jones Race Cars, Jerry Bickle. There's just so many out there, and it's all about in shocks, valving. Like I use the same oil in a light or heavy car. I change the valving and the spring. Remember guys, the spring holds the weight, the oil controls it. So That right there, in my opinion, from what I do and what I know, that is all chassis flex, which is causing me, loads the tire up, sticks it, unloads the chassis. When the flex reaches its max amount, then it starts to spin the tire, loads the chassis again. That's why you have this alligator back. Same thing with the pink line. And then finally, what I was showing you about the throttle speed is you're so far ahead of the throttle because that's on that mount of the throttle that I showed you, the 6/10. So while you're muddling through that, you're supposed to be 15, 20 feet out and you're about maybe 6. So the gun just goes boom and throws in a buttload of power, and then it's called a stick spin. But I'm very excited. I don't know if you can hear it in my voice. That thing right there is going to fix that. That's just my opinion. I'm going to have to tune a little different. I'm going to have to play with the shocks, but right now I'm going to leave it what it is. Last thing is the reason why I went with the DRK is going to the races. When you're standing in line and everybody's car's upside down, they're heating their stuff, and you're talking and bullshitting with everybody and anybody. This is all I saw, whether they're running a Ghost ESC R1 or anything else, a lot of DRKs. That's why I wanted to try it. Just want to know for myself. If it does nothing, it does nothing. I'll tell y'all. Everyone have a great week, and we'll see you at the races. If you guys want complete rundown on chassis and why it's done, it's not dairy, it's drag racing. Let me know. Put yes in the comments, thumbs up, something simple. Y'all have a great weekend.